In this Lightroom video, we're going to look at a few tips and tricks for sharing your images. Now, whether you want to send images via email, create a link for viewing online, or share via social media, you can do all that within Lightroom CC and Lightroom Classic. So we'll begin here in Lightroom Classic, and the best way to start sharing photos is to create a collection of the images that you'd like to share. So you can create a collection using the panels on the left over here. You can click the plus to create a new collection and then drag images to it. So I've created a collection of 5 images here, and I can share this collection between Lightroom Classic here and Lightroom CC, which is the cloud-based version of Lightroom, just by clicking this little box here next to the collection. And this will sync my collection with the Lightroom cloud. Now, while that's syncing, notice we have an option up here to make our collection public. If we click this, then you can see we begin to generate a URL. Then once that's generated, we can click on the link here to open it in a browser. And there you can see 5 images in our collection. We can double click to view them larger if we like. So that's how to quickly share a set of photos. And we can, of course, copy that link and send it to whoever we like. Now, if we go back to Lightroom Classic here, we can also send images via email really quickly. So if you have an image that you want to send to someone as an email attachment, all you have to do is go to File, and we can use Email Photo. This brings up our email settings, where we can choose a service provider here and input our account name and settings to create our email. So that's a quick way to email images within Lightroom here. Now we can also use the export dialog to set up a preset for even quicker emailing. So if we go to export here and bring up our export dialog, we can go to for email here, and then we can fine tune the settings for our attachment. So we can resize our attachment to a specific size. So let's say we want it to be 1000 pixels along the longest edge. We can perhaps choose some output sharpening here for screen, and maybe adjust the quality. Let's bring it up to 90 so that it's reduced slightly. Then we can go over here to create a preset for these settings here. Let's call it Gmail attachment and hit create. And then once we hit export, this will bring up our email options again, where we can email that image at those specific size settings. So that's a few options for sharing your images in Lightroom Classic. Now, if we switch to Lightroom's cloud-based app, Lightroom CC, we'll find that same collection has been synced with Lightroom CC. And here we have a few more options for sharing. So we can click this little icon here at the top left to share and invite. And you can see here we get that same link. We also get these links to share to Facebook or to Twitter. And we can go down here and invite people by inputting an email address. We can customize our online album here. So instead of choosing a photo grid, we could perhaps choose a 1-up display and hit done. Then if we go back to our browser and refresh, this will change how our images are displayed. Now they're displayed like this, nice and big, so we can scroll down through them like this. So let's go back to Lightroom Classic, and if we go back to our share settings again, you'll find some useful options here. So as well as sharing albums with others, we also have permission options here, so we can allow them to contribute to the album or edit as well. So there we go, that's a few tips and tricks for sharing your images using Lightroom CC and Lightroom Classic.